is that we've just all activated what's called our radiant circuits. The free-flowing life force that Ernest Holmes was just talking about, that Al was reading. That presence that we are so beautifully. And so it was Lorraine's idea one day in our Deepen Into the Miracle class that we've just finished, and we would like to present some things to you, including that experience, that after we were dancing one day, activating our radiant life circuits, that Lorraine exclaimed, "Let's do a flash mob at CCL." Yeah. And the greatest thing was that we all agreed to do it, but Reverend Carol had not been at that class. But life flows this way, doesn't it? Right? And we love that life flows and things happen and we get surprised, like our music doesn't start. And we're good because we're open and accepting of what is. So this was a beautiful class, and I'm going to just... Everybody up here actually did take the class, but we love the fact that we're surprised that people just came up to dance on stage. Yeah. Right? Kudos. Love it. Absolutely love it, because that's the freedom, in the law of freedom, that's the freedom to be that free. Right? To be that beautiful. And to watch where our ego mind wants to constrict and where our spirit, our soul wants to expand. We did a lot of, over a course of 8 weeks, and we're going to continue, did a lot of exploration of our soul, of life, of the movement of life. And we used some very strong and beautiful mystical principles to guide us. And one is that I am here. I am available. Feel that. I am here. I am available, open to what is arising in this moment. Well, we could just end on that note. All the talking, all the thinking, all that we looked at in the class as we really explored playfully through movement, through partnership, through deep vulnerability, through wholehearted acceptance and awareness, and practicing coherence with each other is how to be radically open to life. Life allows everything, every experience, and how to not listen so much to the thoughts that are guided by our internal architecture, our conditioned beliefs, our conditioned experiences, and our narration about what's actually happening in the world, which we all know in those moments isn't actually what's happening. And so time and time we came into that, and I'm really very grateful for the work that is done here at CCL, because it provides a beautiful base for the work that we did in this class. And each person came in and was immediately confused and a bit overwhelmed by design. Because what we're trying to do is to deconstruct the self, deconstruct our ideas about what life is, what the class was. And we worked within a mandala, a model of awareness, awakening to our wholeness. And we looked at what are our highest priority. And again, I give this group great credit because the ideas came forth from the heart, and they were encouraged to go deeper, and to go deeper, and to really listen to each other until their souls were speaking to each other, that the highest priority was so pure that every single thing they did in their life was wrapped around that. They were able to identify the foundational principles. What do they stand upon? What do they rest upon? What's the base of their living? What are the qualities, the personal attributes that they wish to cultivate so fully that they embody them and live them? And then what are the integrated mind-body, spirit and energy practices? And how can they apply them in their life practice, in their moment-to-moment awareness, in their moment-to-moment coherence, and in their moment-to-moment acceptance? It was really sweet to watch what was unfolding, and I was constantly surprised, and things were constantly new, and it was a great delight for me. And normally when we have the end of a class, we have a few people share, and then we hand out certificates. And I thought about doing that, but I thought, why do I need a certificate? Who needs that certificate? What part of us needs that certificate? We don't need that recognition of the mind. And so I thought if I would hand out something, but we didn't have them today, which is so funny to me, I'd hand out blank name tags. Because in every class, we filled out 2 name tags and wore 2 name tags. One was our given name, and one was the name that our ego mind, was given by us in this class. And each time we did that, just as one of the multiple reminders that we are not what we think we are. And that which we think we are is driven by this ego mind. And so I would give this class a beautiful blank name tag so that the highest priority and the inspiration of their soul and of the divine could settle into their being. We did a lot of work to clear the inner architecture, to make space for the beautiful, beautiful inspiration that life is. One other mystical principle is we talked about the past and the future outside of linear time. And the past being where most of us live, in our inner architecture running us every day in habit. And the future being a potential. But the potential cannot come in, land, be embodied, be integrated, planted upon this planet unless there's space. And so these folks did a lot of work on creating space. And dancing, sharing, right, laughing, eating, all of those things were part of it. So I'm just going to name who is here, and many of them are back there. And when I say their name, they're going to throw their hands up in the air, like they just don't care. So you can just see their form for a moment. And what I'm always so blessed when I offer a class is that Reverend Carol always shows up. And Haji Schreffler is my beautiful sister, Lorraine Snail, Esther Clark, Kathy Royce, Kathy Miller, Renee Smith, Ingrid Reese, Will Cates, Keith Gunther, Christian Fanny, Sid Cohen, and a shout out to our own Kay Cooley. We also have Donna Ertel, Jim DeMarco, Nancy Shin, Nancy Trierdy, and Gina Walton, Mary Pat Carrero. And they could not be with us today, but from what we hear is they're doing flash mobs wherever they are. So, we'll be seeing them in the news. They have a lot more courage. It's easy to do it here. I'm just going to ask 2 people to share something so that you can listen. And what we practiced a lot in the class is listen with your whole being. The words are only one statement. Listen to your own body. Listen to your own energy. Listen to the field that wishes to communicate itself. And while it speaks to the ego mind of those presenting with a big, oh no, they're going to listen to me that fully, that's what we want to do. We want to come in so vulnerably and beautifully that our essence can speak.